If your 1 to 6-year-old is hitting, kicking, yelling, screaming, biting, these behaviors are so tough. And this episode is for you because I have dealt with these behaviors throughout my almost decade-long experience as a toddler tantrum coach for 1 to 6-year-olds and as a pediatric speech therapist. I have a private practice here in New York City. And what I want to say is that there are absolutely ways to stop these behaviors and replace them with more productive skills like listening, cooperation, communication, lifelong skills that your 1 to 6-year-old is so important they build now because it just gets more and more compounded over the years and those skills get stronger and stronger. This episode is for you if you are ready to replace those really intense, challenging behaviors. So let's go. And my name is Laura. I'm a pediatric speech therapist and a toddler tantrum coach for 1 to 6-year-olds here in New York City. I am the owner of Tantrums to Talking, which is a one-to-one program for parents struggling with any kind of behavior for their 1 to 6-year-olds and who want that one-to-one support for a 3-month container where I show you exactly step by step what to do based on child brain and body development, neuroscience, and the latest child development research that I read up on and also practice in my two businesses, Tantrums to Talking and my pediatric speech therapy business. So let's start talking about these more intense behaviors. If you're interested in applying to Tantrums to Talking, the link is below. And you also will get a free consult call with me where we can go over the behavior, start to map out a plan, and we can see if you're the right fit for the program. Okay, so let's get started. These behaviors, biting, hitting, kicking, screaming, they are tough in 1 to 6-year-olds. And listen, I've had all of those things happen to me, both in private homes and out in public with my clients. And it's a lot. Like when a toddler hits you in the face, it's like, whoa. It's like, you're like, what? What is going on? Like it's like startling, first of all, and then you have to kind of like quickly like regroup and then like try to address it. And it's like it's a lot. Same with like biting, same with kicking. You don't sometimes you don't even see it coming. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. And it can be really disorienting. It can be embarrassing if it's happening out in public or to someone else or to another kid. And it's just a lot. There's a lot of feelings that come up for the adult, understandably. So I just want to validate that if you've been feeling that after these big behaviors happen. And I can already hear some people like saying or thinking, oh, like just tell them stop, like just tell them no, like put them in timeout, like just do XYZ. If it was that simple, like don't you think these parents like would be doing that and like don't you think they would have already solved it by now? It just amazes me some of the comments or input I hear when I start talking about these things. It's like if it was that simple, like it wouldn't be like some kids it works, but like some kids it really doesn't. It really doesn't, or the parents would be doing that. And so we need more of a brain and body approach to these challenges. I also hear a lot of parent coaches online that will say things like, oh, just block the hit and then ignore, or tell them no, stop, or put them in timeout. Like these are very common like tantrum parenting advice, right? That we've all heard and probably have tried at some point or another. And I mean, I don't have time to break down every single one of those, but I want to talk about and delve into what I really recommend. We want to get to the root cause and understand the root cause of why this behavior is happening. What's the system behind it that's driving this behavior? Because there's always a pattern um, in child behavior. It's not random. There's something driving it, and we need to get there. So, in some cases, it truly is behavioral, right? For older kids, I would say 3, 4, 5, 6, it can be behavioral, right? Meaning that they can't handle no, they're super frustrated, they hit or they kick or they scream. I would say for younger kids, like especially like 1, 2 year olds, especially, like this is actually, and I've heard so many pediatricians validate this, this is actually a normal developmental process for some like 2 year olds. and I'm talking like 1, 2, like young 2 year olds, like not like 2.5, almost 3 2 year olds. No, but for young 2 year olds, it's like everything is cause effect. Like all of their play is cause effect. What happens when I knock this over? What happens when I pull this? What happens when I throw this? So it's like they're super impulsive. They just like they just hit things, and it includes you sometimes. And they're clumsy. Like they don't have that fine motor developed yet all the way, and they just like the big movement. So I know this is annoying, but really, if they're little like that, like little, like try not to take it so personally. It's hard when they just like bonk you on the head and you're like, okay. Like, and in those cases, there are ways to redirect it. I block it. I show them different ways that they can get that impulse out. So I will show them, depending on the child, exactly and model or show them exactly what to do instead of hit me. So I'll block it and then model or show them, because they can understand that. They can copy movements, they can copy simple words too. So we want to show them, I know you've, like, again, through our body, and because they're not going to understand this if you tell them verbally, but I want you to understand this. So I'm going to tell you verbally. I know you felt a big impulse there. So you just were like, boom, but this is what we're going to do instead. Okay. And we want to explain that through our body, through showing them what to do instead. For those little kids, we want to show and not tell, and really try not to like, sometimes I literally have to, when that happens, I literally have to tell myself, like, this is part of their development. And also, like, I'm choosing not to get mad about this, even though that hurt a little bit. Like, I'm choosing not to get mad about this, and I'm showing them what to do instead. And, of course, I'm blocking it when I can. For older kids, it's like, okay, they don't have that impulse, that more intense impulse, like some 2 year olds do, right? They're a little bit moving on between, but like from just the cause and effect stage of play, they're moving on more to they're starting more things like pretend play, acting things out. So it's not so cause effect impulsive like the little like two ones and younger 2 year olds. So it gets a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more nuanced. Why are they hitting? Why are they kicking? And our approach needs to be a little bit more nuanced as a result. So again, we need to figure out the root cause here. Was it truly behavioral? Like, are they truly hitting or kicking or biting or screaming because they didn't get what they want or they heard no? Or do they have some sensory and movement differences? Like, there are some kids where they truly do, not a lot, but some kids, like, if they need it, they need it. They truly need like a chewy tool, like a chewy that they can go like this, because they need a lot of input in their jaw. We have the most nerve endings in our body right here in the back of our jaw. That's why we clench our jaw when we get stressed. And some kids really need that input. And little kids, like, if they're not getting that input, they will bite. Okay. It's not like they're trying to get the input that their body needs. This isn't every kid. Some kids bite to get a reaction, but this is some kids. So that's why I talk about, like, we need to think about, like, what does their body need? What is going to fill up their cup? The same with hitting or kicking. Like, is we do need to ask ourselves, like, is this truly because they are upset and they can't handle these emotions? They don't have the coping regulation skills to handle this. They're feeling it and they need to get this emotion out, or they want a reaction from you. Or is it that their body, their sensory movement system is so wound up and they need to get it out in other ways? Regardless, whether it's one or the other, it's like kids, a lot of times, that are displaying this behavior need a ton of movement and body input. And that's why in the Tantrums to Talking program, we make like a specialized protocol for movement and body input specifically for your kid. Because if they're getting that body movement input and all the different body systems, their whole body is just going to be more relaxed. It's like after you go to the gym, like, you feel so much more easy, lighter, clearer. You're so much less likely to like be like wound up about something or to be upset about something. And it's like this with kids 1 to 6 to an even greater extent. So we really need to think about that and take that into account here. If it is behavioral, if it truly is behavioral, okay, and this happens, right? They're really mad that they didn't get to have their favorite dessert. and they hit you or they kick you or they scream. Okay, if this is clearly a behavioral issue right now. There are a few things I want us to do in that situation. One, we cannot give in to that. Okay, we need to show them a different direction. And I show them a different direction when it's like we're working with the 1 or 2 year old that's hitting us on the head, okay? That I talked about earlier. Well, we just want to transfer that into an age appropriate way. It's like you can say, I'm mad, and then show them, like with pillows, with a peanut ball, other ways where they can get that movement out. And so many kids love this. I've seen this like done successfully with so many families, and it just like redirects that energy, that intense energy they're feeling. Other thing we need to do that's equally important is we need to build empathy skills. And I'm not saying your child doesn't have empathy skills if they're displaying these behaviors, but I am saying that it's really important to build up these skills and understand the consequence of their action. So, like in real life, like if their sibling gets hurt, if they see somebody getting hurt, we want them to be close and we want to show a lot of concern, like, oh, you're hurt. Are you okay? Like, let's get a band-aid. Let's make them feel better. And in pretend play, like if they're age like 2.5, 3, even in pretend play, like we can start to do this, like, oh, like baby doll's hurt or cow is hurt. Oh, we have to take him to the doctor. Oh, let's make him feel better. Oh, that kind of thing. And like, let's say that child kicks mom or dad because they're mad or whatever. Same thing, like mom can go over to dad and be like, "Oh my gosh, your leg, are you okay? You're hurt. Let's get some ice. Let's make him feel better." We want to build those empathy skills. And we want to make it a little bit dramatic, a little bit theatrical because it'll help your child connect the dots. And we want to make it a big, not the like behavior a big deal, but the consequence. We want them to start to be like, okay, when I do this, it actually hurts someone and they actually like need care and attention and they don't feel good when it hurts them. So that's how we start to build empathy skills. And we do this in pretend play, we do this in natural, real, everyday experiences. So we need to build up that skill as well. Comment below your perspective on this and tell me what topics to do next in the comments below. And I also have the Tantrums Talking application linked below, and I will see you in the next video.